Hello friends, today we're going to take a little subtraction quiz using this information above. It reads, the carnival workers kept track of how many people rode the rides on Saturday. On the scramble, we had 235 riders. On the bumper cars, we had 378 riders. The carousel had 263, the pirate ship had 417, and the moon bounce had 545. So we're going to answer these questions about the carnival riders. Number 1 says, how many more people rode the moon bounce than the pirate ship? In this question, you are being asked to look at how many people were on the moon bounce and how many people were on the pirate ship. What is the difference between those two numbers? When they ask how many more, they're asking what's the difference between the numbers. And we know that when we hear the word difference, we're thinking subtraction. So I'm going to subtract those numbers, making sure I put the bigger number on top and the smaller number on bottom. I'm going to make sure that I double check my work and making sure I regrouped if I needed to, and that I did not regroup if I did not need to. Number 2. 258 of the people on the bumper cars drove the cars. So they were in the driver's seat controlling the steering wheel. The others were passengers sitting next to the driver. How many people were passengers? So all I have to know is how many people total were on the bumper cars, 378. 258 of those drove the cars. The others were passengers. So if I subtract these numbers, I will know how many people were passengers. Number 3, how many more people rode the bumper cars than the scrambler? So this is similar to question 1. I'm looking for the difference between the amount of people who rode the bumper cars than the scrambler. So if I just look at my information, here's the scrambler, and here's the bumper cars. I'm only being asked to subtract those numbers to see how many more were on the bumper cars than the scrambler. Number 4, 145 people who rode the carousel were children. How many were not children? So to find that answer, I just need to look and see how many rode the carousel, and I see that was 263. And then I only need to take away my 145 to see how many were not children. Last question, number 5. How many fewer people rode the scrambler than the pirate ship? So I'm going to look at my scrambler and my pirate ship. How many fewer, how many less rode the scrambler? So I look, there's 417 on the pirate ship, 235 on the scrambler. If I subtract those numbers, I will have my answer. Once you're done, make sure you check your work. This is probably the most important part. Make sure that you rewatch the video and make sure you subtracted the correct numbers in each problem. And then make sure your math is correct. If you regrouped, make sure that that was a good choice, that you needed to regroup. Double check that if you have 15 minus 7, double check what you wrote for an answer to that, because sometimes when we count and get an answer, we're a little off, especially if we're rushing. So take your time and make sure your answers are accurate. When you're done, make sure you have your name at the top and turn it in.